Nothing is as it seems in liminal London. Hidden amongst everyday people are werewolves.
You'll be the werewolf then?
Yeah, Mags.
Wizards.
Montgomery Archibald Barker at your bloody service.
And those cursed by the Fey monarchs of the city.
Declan Buchanan, PI. He has quite a large pair of antlers growing out of his forehead.
Join the unlikely misfits of liminal London as they work to take down the powers that claim to rule the city.
I think the Queen doesn't like you very much.
With incredible guest players like Johnny Chiodini.
You say there's Sludge?
Yeah, Sludge. Yeah, I'm the Sludge Boy.
Love Sludge Boy.
No, again, I'm not that Sludge Boy.
Grant Howitt.
Isaac Newton didn't study in Putney, did he?
Who's Isaac?
Oh my god.
And Shamini Bundell.
There's a magic community. There is. Yay, I'm in a magic community.
Go to realmspod.com or search Realms of Peril and Glory wherever you listen to podcasts to find this mysteriously magical actual play series.
Hi, this is Rob Benedict.
And I am Richard Spate. We were both on a little show you might know called Supernatural.
It had a pretty good run, 15 seasons, 327 episodes.
And though we have seen, of course, every episode many times, we figured, hey, now that we're wrapped, let's watch it all again.
And we can't do that alone, so we're inviting the cast and crew that made the show along for the ride. We've got writers, producers, composers, directors, and we'll of course have some actors on as well, including some certain guys that played some certain pretty iconic brothers.
It was kind of a little bit of a left field choice in the best way possible.
The note from Kripke was, he's great, we love him, but we're looking for like a really intelligent Duchovny type.
With 15 seasons to explore, it's going to be the road trip of several lifetimes. So please join us and subscribe to Supernatural Then and Now.
Hello and welcome to the IGN UK podcast. Well, after months of speculation, we can finally talk about the Xbox One. So, I think we're going to dedicate this entire podcast to the Xbox One. And for the discussion, I'm joined by Stuart Reed.
Hello, PS4 fanboys, switch off now.
Oh, yes.
Well, they might find a lot to like in what we're about to say, actually.
That voice was Keza MacDonald.
Hello.
And also joined by the coughing Daniel Krupa.
Yeah, hopefully I won't cough too much, but I've been ill all week.
Oh, bless you, Daniel. So, oh my god, it's actually happened. I can't believe it. We've been talking about Xbox Infinity 720
Durango.
Next box.
I would have preferred any of those names.
I know. So let's start off with the name, shall we? Xbox One.
Yeah, they came out right at the beginning of the press conference and they told us the name.
Don Matrix was so excited he clenched his fists.
Don Matrix?
Yes.
Wow, what a
Don
name.
Mattress, isn't it?
Dick Mattress. Hello, I'm Dick Mattress. I might just change my name.
To suit your voice, Dick Mattress. Hi, I'm Dick Mattress. Here for the sales conference. I'm staying down on Wilmington.
Hi, Dick Mattress.
Nice to meet you.
Sorry,
anyway, Xbox One, or Xbone as it's been shortened to.
Xbone,
I really enjoy
brilliant.
Xbone. Thank you for that, internet. It's drooping again, guys.
Xbox Oni. Xbox on?
I don't think it's a particularly good name.
It's quite a confusing name. Presumably the thinking behind it is it's the one box to do everything.
The one box to rule them all.
It's dishwasher as well.
Well, exactly. But you still have to plug it into your cable TV box. So it's not really the one box, is it?
It's got HDMI pass-through, though.
But am I right in saying, Stu, on that?
It's more than pass-through. It's because it's actually adding to that signal, isn't it? It's taking because that's how you get all your overlays and shit like that.
No.
Oh, I knew that.
It's more than just pass-through. I've never seen
more than pass-through.
I've never seen an HDMI slot do so many things.
It's more than pass-through. Dick Mattress.
So yeah, I think that was the first point. It was when they announced the name, it was like, oh, I didn't see that coming. Even just call it Xbox, but the fact, because PS1 came out.
Yeah, it sounds like an older. So they've gone Xbox 360, Xbox minus 259 or 359. I had to work my maths out then.
It's really, really bad.
Xbox 360 minus 359.
Is there a chance anybody could squeeze this knob to stop it from drooping?
No, we've tried.
Oh, well.
Keza's got mic problems. If she suddenly goes off mic, it's because either her microphone's fallen off or we've strangled her.
Yeah, either likely at this point.
Yeah. Get on your knees.
Not here. Not a good idea. Right, anyway, Xbone.
Talking of which.
So, before we discuss the specifics of the console itself, what did you think about the overall vibe of the conference?
Well, it was a bit... It not much, really. No. Yeah. It wasn't particularly, jazzy, was it? It was a bit...
It felt rushed.
We didn't even get like a random Usher appearance or anything like that, which we usually get from Microsoft.
Yeah, 2 Spielbergs and a J.J. Abrams.
Oh, that's true. Sorry, we did have Spielbergs.
Was there a J.J. Abrams? I must have missed it.
He was at the beginning.
He was in that horrible bit where they were like, I want to have a relationship with my TV, that bit.
Yeah. They obviously, there's no irony there at all. They don't understand the fact that most of the rest of the Western Hemisphere thinks that if you're saying you want to have a relationship with your TV, you're talking about frotting it.
Yeah.
But that's one of the features you can.
That's what one of the ports.
You got to see all those ports on the back.
It's so much harder with an HDMI slot these days, though. Like when it was the old RF cable, much easier. But HDMI
can never get it into a SCART. Nightmare. I'm there just blindly fumbling for hours.
I used to get into a SCART, but then it would fall out again almost immediately. It's a true story.
like playing snooker with rope.
Yeah. Like stuffing a marshmallow into a slot machine.
lots of bunching. So Xbox,
yeah.
Sexually frustrated much, IGN crew?
We are supposed to be talking about the next Xbox, but it hasn't gone very well so far. Much like the conference.
There wasn't any sexual tension at all in the Xbone conference. I mean, usually there's at least some of that.
There's nothing.
There wasn't really any. I mean, it was kind of awkward because I was watching it at an official Microsoft stream. Like they did like an event for people to come along and watch it. It was just a screen with the conference on. Could have watched it anywhere, but and they kind of went so afterwards, and everyone was like,
"Who said so?" I wish it was the UK managing director just in front of us.
It kind of was.
So?
What do you think of that then?
Kind of was. Everyone's hand went up to ask questions, and he was like, one question. Someone went, "Is it always online?"
Wow.
Obviously.
Is it always on? Do we know that yet?
We'll talk about that later.
Here's the thing,
it's
isn't it? Here's the thing, an hour's worth of conference time, roughly 3/4 of that seemed to be about it controlling your TV. Yeah. Very, very kind of little in the way of hard facts, answering the questions that a lot of people have wanted answering over the last few months.
Because the way I kind of thought about it is that there was lots of vision but little focus.
Yeah.
They said that it could do a lot of things, but didn't actually demonstrate how it can do a lot of things apart from you can do fancy football while watching it. It's like, great.
Yep. Something I've always dreamt of.
Yep.
Apparently there are the people who were out at Redmond to see it got taken on a tour around the R&D department that made Xbone. And they are saying that because of the cloud capability and stuff...
I'm sorry. It's chaos in here today. Dan's just managed to drop a can of Coke all over himself, all over the sofa,
really
and all over
impressive.
The microphone. We'll carry on blindly while he goes out and mops himself down.
I can't remember what we were talking about.
We were talking about, yeah.
Before Dan fizzed
the people at Redmond.
What were we talking
The people at Redmond were taking on a whistle-stop tour of Bill Gates' dungeon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a long week, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You can tell how much we're all not bored of talking about the Xbox already. The people who went around the R&D department said that it is going to change the way that games are made because of the cloud capabilities.
Mm-hmm. I didn't really understand that.
So essentially, there's a possibility now for you to make a game in which the game actually dynamically changes without being like an MMO because of the cloud.
Oh, right.
So
okay.
you could make a Fable and make the seasons change.
No, okay.
I thought it was actually computing power as well.
That's the
quote on live.
It's
like on live. Right. So I think they said something like back in the room, seamless.
But you've come back booming as well.
Booming Krupa.
Your pants are covered in Coke as well. Oh, I'm ready to talk Xbox. I think they said something like all non-latency computations can be offloaded to the cloud. Oh, I know what that means.
What does that mean?
What?
So when you're playing a game, anything that doesn't need... background processing, nothing that needs an immediate feedback response to what you're doing, can be offloaded into the cloud. So it's like on live. The on-live
okay.
box is a dummy box.
Yeah,
all
no, I
that
know that.
processing.
Yeah.
So I think all the time that can work in tandem with what's on the cloud
That's it.
to make your Xbox more powerful, more impressive.
And it will get more powerful over time.
Is
how?
the reason for that, though, because they're spending so much computing power getting all the data crunched from the fucking Kinect that you've got to have plugged into it permanently?
Well, that's it. It's got 3 OSs, isn't it? It's got the Xbox OS, the Windows 8, and something that ties them together, and it's got to run Kinect.
Well, you were saying it's the third one.
It'll be hypervisor.
Yeah, which is kind of. I think I'm right in saying that's like some sort of kind of virtual
so,
manager.
So if you've got a Mac and you run Windows
a
in
bit
parallels,
like the Chelsea manager.
Yeah, and that's why you can.
Wow,
brilliant!
I don't even know what that means.
Do you know? Even I don't. Carry on.
Anyway, yeah, the 3 operating systems, because that sounds to, I think, a layperson like myself, that just sounds like they've a bit cobbled together, a bit Frankenstein. But
I couldn't decide.
It can be incredibly stable having that third system as a base load to boot the other two, and that's why you'll be able to switch seamlessly between games and TV,
But then
all that sort of stuff.
If you look at all of Xbox, Microsoft products, apart from the Xbox 360, which has been pretty good, all of their OSs, the Surface OS, Windows 8, all the recent, and the Zune interface,
8 is supposed to be incredibly
that,
stable.
Yeah,
really? 8's supposed to be incredibly stable.
Or does it just look horrible?
Because I think once again it comes down to being run as a virtual machine. So it's, if you can imagine your PC, the operating system is actually being run on almost like a pretend PC inside your PC, so that if anything falls over, if anything falls over, instead of it completely corrupting your entire experience.
Oh, I see.
It can just...
It's like isolated.
Yeah, it's isolated, and it can just start up another virtual machine inside your machine.
So it's like a decompression chamber for faults?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
But we'll leave it at that, shall we? Yeah.
Great.
Because that's about the sum of my knowledge. Alex
I
is
have
obviously...
no idea what you're talking about now. I just want to talk about...
the games and the graphics.
Games, but there weren't any.
There weren't any games.
Oh, yeah. Well, there were 4 games.
Well,
come on.
They showed, I think, about 30 seconds of gameplay footage. The rest was like renders and games that looked pretty much not finished. Obviously,
I don't even remember seeing any gameplay footage.
There wasn't any gameplay footage of anything apart from 30 seconds of COD. And it wasn't really gameplay. It was like
behind the scenes game.
Yeah,
but
it was
not
in-game,
also,
but not gameplay.
Did anyone else think, because like COD's obviously coming to current gen, didn't look that impressive?
It didn't look that
I
great.
don't think COD looks impressive at all.
I don't think they showed anything
compared to Battlefield 4.
Yeah, but also, I don't think the Xbox stream did it any favours.
Watched the video since, though.
Have you watched it? Okay, I haven't watched it in since, but
at the
end of the day,
the arms look pretty good, though, right? Those hairy arms with the dirty
hairy arms,
fingernails.
hairy dogs.
Yeah.
I think we're all impressed with the dogs.
Dogs with ear tattoos.
It's the only thing that livened up that press conference was the dog.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're
the
jumping.
Dogs would liven up anything, wouldn't they?
We're jumping ahead a bit here. Look, so they showed off the new controller. The 360 controller is gone, replaced by... actually, I don't think they gave it a name, did they?
One.
Yeah.
It's the one controller. The one controller to rule them all.
That's it.
It was the one show, wasn't it?
That's
right.
So the controller. Wow. It looks quite a lot the same.
Yeah.
It's got a big hat on now. That's an infrared light emitting hat.
Wonder where they got the idea for that.
It's hat on. It's coming out to play.
It's Wi-Fi Direct. What's that?
Is it?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I'd never heard of the phrase before.
You've never heard of Wi-Fi Direct?
No. That's why I said it.
What is Wi-Fi Direct, Stuart?
Not entirely sure.
Dick mattress.
Not entirely
Explain Wi-Fi Direct.
So you've heard of it, but you don't know what it is.
Well,
it's like Wi-Fi.
It's not
but
that
more
fusion.
direct. It's
Isn't
like
Wi-Fi
normal
Direct
Wi-Fi.
the kind of thing that enables you to print to wireless printers or something like that? Is that not Wi-Fi Direct?
Oh,
Well,
this
that's
is boring.
Wi-Fi, right?
No.
Let's get on with the controller.
Yeah,
It's
the
got
controller.
buttons.
It's got new haptic feedback. Which
What?
is what
The
they like
what
to
now?
call rumble.
Yeah.
In the triggers,
triggers,
in the triggers. So it's got like force feedback triggers now, which is exciting.
Yeah.
And
Why is that exciting?
because it's the evolution of rumble.
But why is
so
it?
if you're it's going to be like the trigger of a gun.
So,
a big manly
so that's
gun.
not rumble then. Can they increase the the rigidity
I think
or
so.
the tightness of
Yeah,
it?
because to me, that's
The
like when you
force
fire
feedback.
a gun, the trigger doesn't fucking vibrate. The whole gun vibrates. So
Yeah.
the whole pad should vibrate.
I
So-
think
so
it
they
will.
can-
Yeah, the trigger has the
They
trigger
can make
is
it harder
new.
to press in.
I think so. Yes.
How about if you want it to feel like you're shooting a real gun, you go out and shoot a real gun somewhere? Just putting it out there.
Not that easy.
No, I know,
not many
but you know,
guns.
Depends what country you live in.
I suppose so.
Yeah.
You can always go and shoot, them clay pigeons or something.
But like,
But what I'm saying is there comes a point where I know you're trying to get things as realistic as possible, but at what point do you just say, well, fuck it, I'll just go and do the real thing instead?
Or use
I'll
like
just
a
murder
gun
hundreds of
peripheral.
people.
Or
Like
use a
a
gun
peripheral.
peripheral, yeah.
Actually, I don't think that is the reason. I don't know.
But like on steering wheels, and you get force feedback, and obviously that makes it harder to steer. Like if you're going at top whack around the corner, for example. I wonder if it'll do that. I don't know if the stick is force feedback.
It's
No
like
idea.
a lot of Rumble now. You don't notice it, but
No.
you notice it if it wasn't there.
That's it. When the 6-axis, the original PS3 controller
Yeah.
came out, and I remember sitting there with this piece of shit light controller
Like
that
it's
didn't
helium
rumble.
filled.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. I remember sitting there going, I never even knew how much I appreciated Rumble. I remember getting a Rumble pack with my N64. Gigantic. You had to put two. Did you put like 4 AAA batteries in it?
Definitely
or
had
something to make it
batteries. I
work?
can't remember
It was
how many.
insane.
Well, it's not that much of a revolution. The new Xbox controller will also have batteries.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Yep.
It's not chargeable. They're
Not
batteries.
chargeable.
They're still not.
Is that
bothering
right?
doing that.
Actual
right.
batteries, because we all love popping batteries.
Oh my god, I didn't realise.
I can't believe it's still got batteries. But they've removed it from the back of the controller and put it in the actual bits that you put your hands
that
on.
sounds an awful lot like the Ouya, which
that-
we got into
It's
the
also-
office the other day.
Is that going to make it harder then for third-party people to build nice little charging stations with the rechargeable batteries and stuff?
Possibly, apart from the ones that Microsoft have already developed.
Aha.
There you go. Also,
Genius.
At the minute, the recharging station is Smith's. You have to walk around and go and buy them.
it has no visible screw holes. How'd you like that?
Wow. Now
No
that is
visible screw
pushing the
holes.
fucking envelope.
Do you
isn't
know,
it?
make your own gag there. Oh, I'm walking away from that.
It looked like when they first showed it, I
No
thought there was
visible
a touchpad on the back of the
Yeah, I thought
controller.
as well. Like the
But-
new Sony PS4 controller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that have a touchpad or is it
Well,
just Vita?
Vita. But I don't think it is.
It's. I mean, the controller looks nice. I think that the 360 controller is one of the great controllers
Yeah,
of
I
our
don't
time.
think, it doesn't look like they've tampered with it all that much.
No, they've apparently made the D-pad better, haven't they? So-
Yeah, the D-pad's now got.
Yeah.
It's got tech
Just-
in it.
It's just a D-pad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good one. Live TV is another feature.
Oh, they were going big on live
They
TV.
really were
This is
going big on
really
that.
the big thing. Once they revealed the console, this is the thing they went straight onto.
Because
think
ever since they invented remote controls back in the 1950s for television, we've always been hankering after something different, haven't we? Because
And
remote
more
controls
confusing.
fundamentally over the last 70 odd years haven't worked.
Because there was there was a
Progress,
stage when I probably did have 3 or 4 remotes, but now I've only got one.
Yeah, it's a universal. I mean, I have a Samsung TV with one of them Wii cameras on that technically lets you do voice commands and also gesture commands, and it's shit and doesn't work.
Yeah.
And even if it weren't shit and did work, I think I probably wouldn't use it. Like, the voice commands work okay, but it takes much longer for me to get the thing and go, Samsung show me guide than it does to just press guide.
But, Keza, what I say, what if it works?
But then it still takes longer than just pressing the button.
But what if it... No, but I just think a lot of people, initially, like, Luke was like, this is a gimmick, it's bullshit, it's a gimmick. But gimmicks are gimmicks until they work and
Yeah.
they become accepted. Like, I grew up and touchscreens were gimmicks.
Yeah.
They did not fucking work. Like, you'd be bashing them, pressing them, swiping them. And you're like, it'd just be quicker to type this.
It's still like that in a
on
like when
train stations.
or trying to
Yeah.
get photos printed out in Jessup
Oh,
before they die.
God, that's
Jeez.
the worst thing ever.
And then someone top tip: use your fingernail.
Really?
Yeah, don't use your finger. Use your fingernail.
Okay,
Works.
thanks for that.
Anyway.
But I'm just saying, like, it might not be the case. It might be crap.
But no,
But-
the
Even
thing is
if
that-
it does
if
work,
it
are you
works-
going to use it? That's it.
You might do that.
Maybe.
If
Over time.
if the inputs are intuitive enough, you might do. There might be a paradigm shift where it works, technology is that good, and you go, actually, this is easier. This is
That
easier.
would be cool, but
And
I
it
just.
ceases to be a gimmick.
But I've kind of been burned by the current. I mean, I know that touchscreens have evolved and become good, and you just need someone like. I mean, it was Apple really that came along and made touchscreens good, wasn't it? And then everybody else can do it too. But I think that I don't understand how you can sit in your living room and have a normal conversation with people without it interfering with the gesture or with Connect.
I don't. Yeah, but
Well,
I don't know how
you
you
have
can
to
have a
prime it
decent
by saying
conversation with
Xbox.
someone with the TV on.
Well, when I first plugged in, this was the last time I ever had Connect plugged in before I unplugged it forever, was when I was having a conversation in my living room and my Xbox managed to almost buy me a £55.99 family Xbox Live Gold subscription just because I was having a conversation about an Xbox in my
That must have
room.
been a very, very kind of precise conversation.
You're
It
having a
was
conversation.
really
I
weird.
If only I
wonder
if only I
Xbox,
had a
whether I should
£55
buy.
family
Genuinely
subscription.
just talking nonsense and said the word Xbox a
Do
few
you?
times, turned on the
Yes.
TV and it was sitting
Do
there
you
on the
agree with that
purchase
statement?
now.
Yes.
If
have you,
only
have you
I
read
knew-
the paper? I have read all the details.
and my credit card number is 506.
But is there ever going to be a case when it's going to be quicker to say Xbox guide than it is just to go remote click?
It's quicker to say go to season 1 of Game of Thrones than it is type in G.
That is true.
Yes.
All right, I've got the game.
Can
I've
you
got
spell it all the way out, just so we sort of really see how long it takes?
Yeah, that's what I was doing. That was my point. I was
On the
conveying.
Samsung I've got, it lets you do volume up, volume down, but you're sitting there going volume up, volume up, volume up, volume up, to make
searching,
it.
searching
It's
online
stupid.
source, searching Netflix for a movie.
That's where I can
It's
see
searching.
it being
Searching is
useful.
cool.
Yeah.
It's
But
quite
that's
useful
not
in
a
the current one.
Well,
that is the future of TV, though, isn't it? TV
Is
on
there-
demand
is-
is
is
like
there-
finding these things and navigating a more complex UI will need something much more sophisticated than a rigid 20-button controller.
Yeah.
That is a fair point. But I think it's very strange of Microsoft to basically bet the house on live TV when TV is in trouble. Like, TV is dying. Slowly, but it's dying.
Not necessarily. Not for certain Not for certain events. I mean, they're talking a lot about sports and stuff like that. That'll always be watched.
And this is a
live.
mediator between the two, because this will do all your online TV as well.
Yeah, and your
so it's
on
like
demand.
it's got you covered for both.
Yeah,
But regular TV isn't going to die anytime soon. It's going to be a slow, painful death.
But I do find the point I made. I've been making a lot, but it's like the fact you still got to plug it into your fucking cable box.
Yeah.
To me, is retarded. It needs to be one box. I think.
Rather, it's basically an amp at the moment.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
And I probably won't bother. In all honesty.
If it works, it will be really cool.
Because I've got Freeview on my TV. I don't have Sky. Don't
Yeah,
have Sky.
yeah, sure.
So it's not really going to enhance my package.
I think.
I don't know, if you put that thing down your trousers, it definitely enhances anyone's package.
Hello, I'm Dick Mattress. I think it's a very good point, because the way America consumes their live television is different from the way we consume it, because everything they watch is watched on cable or it's watched on satellite, because they don't really have, I think I'm right in saying they don't really have like a VHF or UHF television system that's that highly regarded in the States, whereas over here most people probably use an aerial on the roof to receive at least some of their channels, if not all of them.
Digital Freeview or something like that.
But Sony did it with ITV, so Play TV, whatever it's called. So maybe
ITV,
yeah, getting awfully confused.
Play TV, yes.
Maybe Microsoft will bring out tuners throughout the world that will sit with
I'm
machine.
sure.
But then once again, that's another box, isn't it?
But this is the thing that's getting me, is that why are we talking about how our games console is going to interact with all of our different...
Because the Xbox, in this conference, is the culmination of something they've been doing for the last few years, is reposition the Xbox. It's not a console.
It's not anymore.
It's a device.
And that's a concern.
And one of the things it does is it plays games. And it does all the other stuff, but it also plays games.
And that, my friend, is the elephant in the room, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that's part of the problem, is that, if it was the centre of my entertainment hub, then great, but I don't think it's going to be, for the reasons I've just said. It's like, if it was an integrated Skybox or cable box or whatever you want to call it, great, but it's not. You've still got to have that alongside it. And I was like, why do I need that?
It just feels like we're moving towards this kind of Wall-E like world where we basically just sit in front of our box perfectly still
and consume
whatever it gives us, which
I'm looking forward to it. Just
just soiling yourself.
Isn't that kind of what we do
in
anyway, though? It's just that, these days, at the moment, if we consume something, we've either got a remote control or a mouse in
it
our
gives the
hand.
illusion
Honestly,
of choice,
mid-game,
though,
if I can swipe left, order a pizza, then swipe it back, then you know what? We've achieved everything we're going to achieve as a race, and I'm waiting for Armageddon.
Yeah.
That
give the Dolphins a go.
If that works really well, and it's the whole thing of like getting to a save point, to be honest, that's my excuse for playing games a bit longer with my missus. I've just got to get to a save point, and I've obviously just passed one, but I want to play a bit longer. But that would be like, I've just switched it straight onto TV, and it will just pause it there. It's like, bollocks, what am I going to do now?
Also, I don't like the idea of being constantly interrupted by all my other stuff when I'm trying to play a game, watch TV, or watch a movie.
Are you talking about Kristen?
My partner, everybody. But when I'm watching a film,
do you want to take a moment and just raise that up again?
Yeah, it's not good. It keeps drooping.
Yeah,
well, it needs tightening there. There you go. Come on, use your strong lady hands.
That's it. Force it.
There we go. All right, everybody happy now?
Can't hear you. I'm joking.
Better?
Carry on.
Good. Anyway, the thought of being interrupted by a Skype call while I'm trying to watch a film is not attractive.
No, not at all.
And the thought of being interrupted by, and I presume social networking...
Fuck off, Youssef.
He's just going to be there. He's going to be like Tom from MySpace.
Hey, you can use this. Hey, you can use Skype. Fuck off.
That was a very painful bit of the conference. Hey, Youssef. Just checking in.
I'll tell you what, nobody's ever masturbating again in front of... What?
Eh?
In front of the TV.
With Connect around.
In front of American
Connect
sports.
is always watching you.
Always.
Like, whatever you happen to be doing on your couch, Connect is looking at that.
Just saying, just putting that out there.
Just put a cloth over it like you do with the budgie.
You don't want the budgie to watch.
Is that what you do?
Budgie's not allowed to see.
When you masturbate. Yeah, this is not for you.
That's the thing. It's not to prevent the budgie from seeing. It's the only thing that can get Stuart hard.
Yeah.
Just put a small towel over a budgie.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Watch it struggle.
And then all I got to do is just take that towel off, wipe myself down, and away we go. Everything's out.
You do it with dogs as well.
Yeah. This is just filth.
Don't
who's
look
a pretty
at
boy?
Daddy.
Who's a pretty boy? Anyway, let's get back on track.
Do you know what we haven't actually spoken about yet? Is the design of the box.
It's massive.
It's a view.
It's and well, combined with Connect, it's,
Do you not think it looks like Battenberg made by RoboCop?
I just thought it looked like an old.
On the front of it, it's got this like weird matte, shiny check effect.
What a lovely, lovely observation that was. I'm going to enjoy that.
It looks fucking huge.
It does look huge.
It is,
It's very
Scott,
deep,
Scott Lowe
isn't it?
says it's about the size of like there to there.
That's good on radio.
So the size of your forearm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your forearm and a bit of your upper
so
arm.
Andre the Giant, that's massive.
It's pretty huge.
Maybe it's like the achievements.
Peter
It
Dinklage
changes
is thinking,
depending
it's
on your size."
tiny!
Yeah.
You know, they were discussing this, 10 o'clock live with Charlie Brooker and David Mitchell and
Yep.
Lauren
Yep.
Laverne, etc. They were discussing Xbox One on that, and in the background they had a big picture of people taking a picture of it. Scott Lowe. Right in the foreground,
Oh,
right
no
there,
problem.
just behind Charlie Brooker's big face.
Yeah.
So it's quite a hideous beast.
What, Charlie Brooker?
Yeah. He's got much better looking.
Yeah, I noticed that. It's like he's suddenly got good looking. I'm like, when did that happen?
I said, money's been good to him.
When did Charlie Brooker get good looking? It's so weird. He was never good looking.
It's
That was
age.
like part of the
some
thing.
Some people age.
He's
better
like
than
wine.
others.
Yes. A lot of men do look better when they're older.
So it's ugly.
Yeah.
The day before the announcement, PlayStation teased the PS4 box in a blurry video. It can't look worse than the Xbox, can it?
I think they're going to design something that's beautiful.
Quite pretty.
Sony are very, very good at hardware design, aren't
I
they?
don't think it's. I don't
Apart
even
from
want
Super Slim.
simple. I don't even anything that fancy. Something
That's the
small,
thing,
black,
it's-
matte, with some grills.
It looks over faffy, doesn't
yeah.
it?
It looks very American.
Why a bit matte?
Why,
and a bit,
why two different materials?
and that slot for the disc looks fucking huge for some reason. It
It's
doesn't.
because we're all going back to
Plays
those
vinyl
massive
as well.
laser discs.
It's one box.
There's one box.
That,
imagine.
to be
There's mini
fair,
pizzas.
It's I don't really care about design. It's the size of it. And also, I thought the whole point of Connect is that weren't we talking about it last week? Is that Connect has been shrunk down to the size of a stick of gum? Somebody said that.
That's not remotely
Probably
true.
will.
Well, it's not based on the Connect that
It's
we've
huge.
seen. It's
Yeah,
like
it's
as
huge.
big as the last one.
I don't want that sitting in my living room.
I don't have room for it.
But you'll have to have it connected.
I don't
a
have
towel over
room. That's the thing about the Kinect as well. Is this is something that I didn't think people would be so upset about. But you can't use the console without Kinect. Like, it doesn't work. You have to have Kinect connected at all times, and that I find that intrusive.
Yeah.
You know, I just don't like a big eye watch it, because Microsoft have patented a thing that watches you while you're watching TV, and if, for instance, you buy a single user license on Netflix, it won't play if there's more than one person in the room.
What?
They've patented that tech.
What, sorry?
What?
Yep.
What tech? You can't watch Netflix?
No, they
sorry.
patented tech that basically observes your room. So basically, say hypothetically you had a single user license for a streaming video service, and maybe
okay.
Netflix, and it would be able to tell how many people were watching, and if it was more than the number of people than you'd licensed it for, it would be able to just stop streaming. They've patented that last year.
Wow.
And
Yeah,
it's
but you
it's
just
gonna
get
happen.
cardboard cutouts sat next to you, right?
But that's...
I know. Or, no,
And
no,
if you're-
no,
and if
this-
you're
that's
sitting
the other
there-
way around.
Yes,
Sorry.
that's right.
And if you're sitting there with a pack
Camouflage
of
yourself as a sofa.
it can tell
You'd be
it
all
can
right
tell
if-
your heat signature. It can read your heartbeat now. Though.
What if everybody around you was wearing a burqa? Like a full one?
It can still do heat signature though, can't it?
That's a point, isn't it?
Are we
Also-
I'm going to go all Predator. I'm going to roll around in some cold mud before I
feel
get
like-
set in my front room.
I just have this like vision of walking into my room with like a glass of water, and it starts advertising me Ribena to make my water better or something. You know, or like
that
I'm,
what you
I'm
choose?
sitting there with like a pack of Doritos, and it's like, want some Mountain Dew with that? And I just really hate the whole
And
idea.
then the front goes down, and then little robotic arm comes out and gives it to you.
And then charges your credit card.
Hello,
automatically.
Keza McDonald. I have gored you some Mountain Dew.
Oh, don't like it.
Imagine if
Now
you could assemble
finish your
atoms.
masturbation for me. Go on, go on, go on.
That's weird.
What are
That's
those things
just not
called?
what
Like,
anybody wants.
they're called fabricators.
Yes.
Like, they're like
replicators or fabricators?
they're like 20, 30, 40 years away, where boxes in your living room will be able to assemble atoms.
Right.
ambient atoms into whatever you want.
Ambient atoms.
Yeah.
What happens to the?
There's so many atoms around that you're not going to miss them.
We got plenty.
What? Does there like a mini vacuum? Does there like
or
you'll
buy them like canisters, and you plug them in, and they'll make them into
canisters.
any type of atom required. And you go, I really need a can of Coke. It'll make it, including the can.
And they reckon that's only 40 years away.
Technology expands exponentially.
It does, yeah.
That's insane.
It's true though. 100 years ago, we didn't have computers.
What happens though when you get those cheap knockoff Chinese atoms and you use those and you end up with Pepsi instead?
You get
of
Panda
Coke,
Pop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no! I downloaded the. Serves you right for pirating your templates.
Yeah.
Where are we? What are we talking about?
It's also a replicator.
We've lost it. So Connect now automatically recognises your face. That's another thing it does. And
it's not supposed to do something similar to that.
Well,
a lot of these things.
Now it looks better. Like Mitch was there, our Mitch guy in the US was there, and he says Connect 2.0 is genuinely really cool, and it works properly, and it works like they said it would, like originally. Which is
I guess the good thing is about all this cloud technology as well is that the constant feedback, all the data that they're assembling from this, they can constantly improve it, forever and ever and ever, can't they? So yes, it is going to get better, I guess.
They can also sell all that data.
Yeah,
companies.
Yeah.
That was the most boring part of the presentation when he started talking how many servers they've got. It's like, who cares?
That's no. Do you not think that's pretty impressive though? That the amount of servers they've got is more powerful than the kind of the amount of computing power they had in 1999?
Yeah, it was more servers than in the entire world in 1999 or something like that.
That's crazy.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Let's talk games. Games.
Yeah.
And games you want to play with your friends and games that you buy secondhand.
There's two huge questions. And this actually is basically the problem with the whole Xbox One reveal, is that they came out and they were very top line. They were like, here's what it is, here's what it does, here's how it's going to change your life. And then whenever anybody had questions, all the different Microsoft executives kind of collectively went,
and then gave different answers.
And then contradicted each other. So the two things, firstly, is it always online? They said, no, you'll be able to play games and watch TV without the internet connection. And then they said, but it will need to connect to the internet at least once every 24 hours, possibly more often, depending what you're doing. So I said, well, that kind of is always online, isn't it?
Yeah.
But technically not, so I can get away with this.
That's it, and some people were saying no, it's not always online.
So you're
like
not going to
Matrix
have a
said that.
situation where if you're playing a game and your internet connection drops out for half an hour, you're not going to get booted out. That's what they're saying.
Yeah,
but it still needs to
and also
I'm here. I'm in school.
And also it's like it seems that this is from what they said about pre-owned. Like it will support pre-owned. They're not saying how, but if you want to play a game, it has to be authenticated through your live account. So any game that you buy then gets associated with your account, and it'll only play for you. So
that physical disc,
that physical disc will only pay for you, because basically what the disc does is install to the Xbox One. So if you go around your mate's house, you can play the game with him as long as you're there signed in, but you can leave the disc with him, and he won't be able to play it unless he pays full whack for the game.
I installed BioShock 4. I lent the disc to someone else, and he lost it, so I bought a new copy of BioShock 4, or a pre-owned one. Could I use that new disc?
Probably yes, because
I've still got a copy registered.
I think
so. It's not that specific disc.
It's the console. It's the install that's registered to you.
So
but
that's more like PC gaming, right?
It's like Steam, but the thing is that Steam is on a PC, right?
Yeah.
And PCs are connected to the internet all over the world. Consoles are not.
So what's wrong? What's the problem with that though? If we're now used to our PCs being connected 24/7, so what? This amazing machine in the corner of your living room that enables you to watch TV and order pizzas and speak to your friends and play games. So it's connected to the internet all the time. Does it really matter?
Well, most of the time it would be. Like, my current Xbox has been connected to the internet non-stop unless the internet goes down. But that's the problem. I'm moving house in a few months. It's probably going to be a week or so where I don't have an internet connection. So that means I cannot play my console, which is bullshit. Well, not just play my console, but not use it for TV or anything.
But then you're not going to be able to use your iPad. You're not going to be able to do anything, because you won't have the internet.
I reckon there'll still be functionality if you don't have an internet connection.
I don't think there is. I think that's the thing.
No.
It can't verify that you own the game if it can't go online and check. So you can't play a game without being online.
But what about people who don't have internet connection?
That's it. See, it's not even so much about us sitting here with our living rooms in London. It's about the whole of Southern Europe. It's about the whole of South America.
Or anywhere north of Watford, really.
Well,
why do you think
Scotland's
I moved?
not got great internet. It's like, and it's not even so much that you have internet. It's that how good is your internet? Is it good enough to support all this cloud computing that apparently games are going to start relying on. Is it good enough to support live streaming? Because I know a lot of people who live in Scotland who don't have that good internet, and that's a first world country just up the road. I can't even begin to imagine.
Hang on, Scotland, a first world country. Stretching the truth a little, aren't we?
So I can't.
Do you think Microsoft care
Spain.
about that though? Surely, I mean, it's from what I saw at this conference, it seemed to be really, really focused heavily on North America.
It is, which is a huge contrast from Sony, which came out and went, we're not that Japanese company anymore.
Just in comparison, there's like that internet meme, like good guy, whoever. It does seem now for our audience that Sony is good guy Sony.
Yeah.
It came out initially and went, you like games, don't you?
Yeah.
You really like games. You're watching this. You're watching a live stream for a console announcement.
Yeah.
We've got fucking loads of games.
Yeah.
And not even that, while we were making this console, we went out to all the people who make games and we said, what would you like?
And
we
then
gave
we
it to
got
them.
them, and then
It's
we
like,
put them on the
They look
stage.
good now.
Yeah.
They do look good, and
Yeah.
Sony looks. I mean, this
For our audience.
For our audience, yeah, that's it. You got to remember, our audience is presumably less interested in TV than pretty much everybody else. But the thing is, if you're doing a live stream of your console announcement, who's watching, right? You're a hardcore base. That's who's watching. Everybody else is going to hear about the Xbox One later.
Yeah.
For your first announcement, you've got to come out and do the home crowd thing, surely, right? Like, that's a mistake not to do that.
I keep coming back to it. I think it's like paradigm shift or ideology change where they don't care anymore. Do not care.
I think they care, but it's like Sony with the PS3. Sony came out with the PS3 after the PS2 and basically said, we know you're all going to buy one anyway. You'll get a second job to afford one. It's really expensive. It's ridiculous to look at. But, we know we've got you. So here you go. And a lot of people jumped ship to Xbox 360.
I wonder if Microsoft thinking a lot of people will still buy one. A lot of the people who are Xbox fans. And they
A lot
play.
of those guys are saying they're going to buy a PS4 now.
Yeah, but,
Do you think- I don't know.
after E3, let's face it, they will show a ton of games at E3.
Yeah,
It's still
it will,
6 months away from launch.
and we already know it's going to have Assassin's Creed, it's going to have Thief, it's going to have all these other games, it'll have Battlefield 4.
It's not as if
So it's not
what
like
they've
it's just
shown-
Call of Duty, FIFA.
Like, if it was launching tomorrow, then I think they'd.
So what?
But it's not.
There's people who are already wavering, going, "Oh, Sony does have a lot of good exclusives. Microsoft do just kind of have Forza and Halo. Well, I might get a PlayStation. So I might Microsoft gone. We're happy to lose them if we can gain everyone else.
Because I think that's the thing. It's almost like the Wii effect, right? Is that they're looking at the bigger picture.
Yeah.
The people who have probably never bought a gaming console before, but
people who are looking like, they have a PC that they rarely use, but they have a PC because it's quite good to print out documents.
Yeah.
And when they go on holiday, you could upgrade to one of these. It's going to be a lot of people I know who had, like my auntie and uncle, they would have a PC. They've now got an iPad, and they do the printing from that if they need to go on holiday, check email.
Yeah.
This could be even a third solution for those people. You go, you want to get rid of a PC? This is a PC, but you can watch TV on it and do all that, and it hooks up to your TV and printer. They might go that. How much is it? 400 quid.
That's all fine, but I don't want one, if that's the case. That's totally cool, and I don't mind if millions of people buy it. That's great for them, but I would buy a PS4.
Yeah, totally.
If that's what we're talking.
I'm playing devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
I totally agree. I went in thinking, I'll get both.
Do you know
get
what?
PlayStation first now.
Yeah.
The thing is that those people that you're talking about, I think they'll take one look at the user interface and they'll go, I don't understand it.
Yeah,
I don't understand it. Because it's not like an iPad where I point at something. It's not like a traditional Windows machine where there's a start menu and I can see everything. Why have I got to wave my hands? Where's my controller? What do I do?
But what if you say to them, just go, what? It depends how smart it is. What if it's like, watch Coronation Street? Boom, it's on.
Yeah.
Tape
And that's the thing.
Coronation Street. Like, my grandma learned how to use TV Plus, where it's like typing in a number to record her stuff on a VCR.
Yeah.
If you just went, she could do record Coronation Street tonight. And if it was smart
Do we know
enough
if it's a PVR, by the way? Does it record live TV?
No, it won't. That's the current thinking. They've not. But basically, the problem is it's only got a 500 gigabyte hard drive, and a significant portion of that, in quotes, is taken up by the OSs.
You can use external.
You can, yeah. You can use external drives, like with all the other consoles.
Like servers.
It'd be stupid if it wasn't. If you couldn't record telly on it, though.
I
To
don't.
have that kind of TV connectivity, but then not to actually be
I
able
suppose
to
it
record.
could
Do you
record
think
to your
do you think
Skybox.
Sky is going to allow them to do that?
Yeah.
No fucking way. No way is Sky going to let them do that.
Neither presumably will the US cable providers.
Yeah, no. So through Freeview, yes, but you're right. Through encrypted channels, no way.
Yeah. So then that adds another layer of interest, doesn't it? Like, if it can speak to your Skybox, can it tell your Skybox to record?
Another point: all this live TV stuff not going to happen outside the US at launch.
upgrade.
Yeah, I was going to say.
It's not going to launch
That's
with it.
the weird thing. You're going to have a device that offers widely different functionality depending on region.
Yeah.
And it's true, like the whole announcement, like the fact it was like, we've partnered with the NFL. It's like no one gives a shit about the NFL outside of the US.
It's a really good screen grab of the UI, like all the little tiles. And it's a guy on Reddit, I think he's from maybe a country in the Baltics, and he said, just FYI, this is what Xbox would look like to me. And he just had to cross out most of the tiles, like Hulu. Like, we don't have Hulu.
No.
And he crossed them all out, and basically all he had was like games.
Right.
And a few other things. It's like,
But that's it. I get the impression that Microsoft is this kind of just this giant American. It wants to own American consumer culture, which is a very good thing to own if you want to make a bunch of money. But I'm honestly not sure they really give a flying fuck about being successful elsewhere.
Oh, well.
At this point, I mean, you know how it was with Japan. Like, if Xbox One even launches in Japan, I'll be surprised because they've wasted so much money trying to break Japan and they can't do it.
it's quite short-sighted for them. I wonder what Europe will get, because obviously the FIFA thing was the one gesture that seemed focused on the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Maybe, but Europe's always been Sonyville. Like we've always been Sony buyers. So maybe Microsoft is just like, fuck them then.
It's still a significant number.
Oh yeah, I mean the UK,
yeah.
for instance, is
so
Xbox.
I'm always saying is like you might not dominate, but you don't want to lose market share.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, obviously they've got some kind of exclusive deal.
That was
around Ultimate
that was a
Team.
bit of a bungled announcement, I thought.
But yeah.
it sounded like they said exclusive Ultimate Team. Like Ultimate Team was exclusive.
Yeah.
That's not true though, is it?
No, it's some features within.
Right.
That's kind of they did a lot of that though, didn't they? They did a lot of exclusive this, exclusive that, and it's like they said that it's got exclusive DLC on the 360. Means timed exclusive.
Yeah.
For Call of Duty, it's not
for Call of Duty.
It's not only going to be on 360. It's
You
just
don't
gonna
get
be
the
timed
dog
exclusive.
on PS4.
I imagine.
The internet would rage.
That would you'd have to buy the 360. Sorry, the Xbox One version. Then.
Oh,
Call of Duty.
how difficult is it going to be? Who's going to call it the Xbox One? Are you ever going to call it the Xbox One? It's just going to be Xbox.
Yeah.
Just going to call it Xbox.
What we're going to call the original? What we're going to call the actual Xbox One?
Xbox.
Like the original Xbox though.
Oh,
I don't think we'll ever refer to
The
that ever again.
Xbox.
Never.
Shit machine.
I've forgotten it happened already.
I don't
You
think
said
I've
the fir-
ever
you'll say the-
spoken about it in the last 2 years anyway.
The first Xbox. I'm just trying to
First
think. What do you call
Xbox?
you got like
Original?
the original iPad?
Yeah.
The first iPad.
first Xbox, the 360 and the Xbox. There you go. Shall we see what our listeners and viewers and partakers thought of the event and what they think of the Xbox One?
So Connor Cresswell is a partaker. He says, I feel that it will be core gamers, people like me, who would be more likely to buy it day one rather than some than some middle-aged woman who could potentially own hardware that can do all things Xbox One would potentially do, like Sky Plus and Apple TV. Did that make sense?
No, try again.
That's exactly
no. It
what
does
he
make
wrote.
sense. What he's saying is, in the opening conference, like you're saying, you preach to the choir. You get us on board.
Yeah.
Because who's going to buy it day one? Isn't that the information about what it is isn't going to filter down to mainstream consumer until much later on, like people who just record.
Right, should we do that again then?
But that's exactly what he says. I'm reading it word for word. But yeah, he's basically saying they should have pitched it to us, not to
Absolutely
Nancy
right.
Tellem.
Yes.
What a mistake that was. Fucking hell.
Nancy Tellem. Tell
Yes.
Nancy.
Tell him, I like the other lady. She's nice.
Bonnie.
Yeah.
Bonnie Rath.
That's
Bonnie
right.
Rath.
Okay.
Do you want to Rath
We didn't
my
even talk
bunny?
about that.
Do I want to roast my body? What?
I've got some feedback. It's from George. It might be Jorge. Anyway.
Jorge?
He says,
Jorge,
Xbox
Jorge?
promises 15 exclusives, but are they actually going to be good? I might buy the PS4 since I trust their exclusives more, but I'm definitely going to stick to getting multi-platform games on my PC.
Ooh. That was interesting. He kind of said that at the end. We didn't really show you that many games, but don't worry, we've got 15 exclusive, 8 of which are new IPs.
I find it kind of depressing that they have to come out and go, 8 of them aren't sequels.
Yeah, and also, but we're not going to tell you what they are, and because we're being vague, some of them could be really small downloadable games.
They could. That's the point, actually. All your Xbox Live stuff that you've downloaded won't transfer to Xbox One.
Brilliant, fantastic, great, thanks guys.
That's useful.
We didn't talk about that, but Quantum Break was one of the new
Oh,
games
yeah.
that they showed. It's going to have a big a TV element to it again.
That's always works out so well
Transmedia.
for everything else.
Transmedia has just really taken off. Everybody loves it, and all of the properties are super successful, right?
There's not been that many. Again, I'm going to be devil's advocate here. It's
No, but-
crap until it's good.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair.
When's it going to be good?
I don't know, but I'm just putting it out there. And they also announced Xbox Entertainment Studios alongside Game Studios, so they'll be making original programming. Halo TV series.
Are you only going to be able to watch your Halo TV series?
That's what I'm thinking. Is it going to be like Netflix?
Yeah.
That would make sense if they're plowing so much money into it.
But then you're basically just making fan service because you're not broadening the Halo fan base by only showing it to people who have Xboxes, are you?
Maybe they'll release it on Blu-ray, and then you can buy the Blu-ray and watch it on your...
And then Sony be like, Sony, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Right, we've got an email from Ruhel. 33 minutes till games were even mentioned. I already have a Sky HD box, which works just fine. I want a gaming device, not another fancy way to control my TV. Seems I'm not the only one who thinks so. Sony shares shot up 9% at the time of writing this. I'll be sticking to my 360 for the foreseeable future.
They did shoot up, that's right. But was there not another reason that it shot up?
Yeah, they Sony divided its entertainment section from its game or something. They did some corporate reorganising on the same day.
Quite clever, isn't it? Because to artificially inflate your share
Yeah.
price on the day that your rival introduces anything to market.
I think Sony handled the Xbox reveal very well. If I were Sony, I'd be just moonwalking the whole way through now. I'd just be... They don't even have to do any PR at this point because everyone's...
Can Japanese people moonwalk?
Yes.
Why wouldn't they be able to?
They've got different bums. Andrew Dawson says, just seen the Xbox One reveal and took note that they predominantly led with third-party publishers. Must say I'm rather disappointed. If they'd even tease an Xbox-only IP like Halo 5, I'd be pre-ordering. He's also written a poem.
Oh, can we read it?
This is Show Me Something for a Gamer by Andrew Dawson. Show me what I don't own already. Show me what the cloud can do. Show me the what I will pay readily. Show me why I wouldn't choose Sony over you. Show me a Rainmaker. Show me why I have to buy it. Show me a game changer, then maybe I'll try it.
Very good.
Thank you, Andrew.
Excellently read. Beautiful.
Lovely stuff.
I have some more feedback. It is from James. James says, loved
Why are you talking like that?
I'm trying to read at the same time. My brain can't do two things.
Mrs. Dick Mattress.
He's just finished watching the Xbox event. Loved our coverage. Good job, guys. He says, EA seems to have buddied up with Microsoft and they revealed Ultimate Team is now an exclusive feature for Xbox users.
Not quite.
In the US, I'm sure that Madden and others are more profound, but in Europe, Ultimate Team is huge. He says, is this Microsoft trying to make more of an impression on the European market? What do you think?
So that kind of conflicts with what we were just saying, that
Yeah.
you think they're maybe not so interested in...
And also, it's not exclusive,
And
right?
it's not exclusive. But again, I think that represents how they bungled the
Pitched it.
announcement.
Yeah. No,
And there
yeah.
have been, I almost, maybe not bungled it, maybe being intentionally vague so people think it's bigger than it is.
Same with the
So when they
Always
actually
Online.
announce it, it's just, it's just some extra booze.
That's it, because a lot of people who have heard this are never going to find out that it's not true, so they'll just end up buying it.
Yeah.
And also, that they were deliberately vague about Always Online as well. They're basically just like, if we don't mention it, maybe no one will ask.
Because I saw the whole EA Sports part more just as kind of a trailer for EA's E3 press conference.
Yeah.
Because that told me more about EA and what they're doing on next gen than really what they're doing with Xbox. Because right at the beginning, is it Andrew Wilson? He said, this is the start of a new, big, important
Special relationship.
But I got no sense of what that really is.
No.
Above and beyond a bit of extra DLC exclusivity,
Yeah.
timed exclusives.
Yeah. It's all fluffed up, isn't it?
Like, imagine how different it would have been if they held it back on Battlefield 4 and they dropped that into that conference. You would have gone, wow. I don't know.
And the thing about the Call of Duty stuff as well is it was all in studio, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it was like those incredibly boring dev diaries that they kind of push out.
Yeah.
It was really, really bloated.
It's kind of funny, isn't it? When you're thinking about next gen consoles and they're showing you wireframe images, you kind of think it's not really showing off your new console.
And then
pre-rendered.
That game doesn't look finished.
Yes,
and pre-rendered.
Yeah,
like all people want to see, like always, it's gameplay footage. You want to see what you're going to play.
Yeah. Email from Tom says, it seems that Microsoft want the casual audience and not the gamers. I think this will bite them on the arse.
Well, the mainstream is huge, it being the mainstream.
Yeah. It's whether they're playing that longer game and it pays off. If this genuinely becomes a universal device, might not do, might do, then they'll be laughing.
I mean, it's them. It's not really them going for Sony, is it? It's them going for Apple and Google.
Exactly. It's their attempt to get to market before Apple TV or whatever the Apple Television is going to be called arrives, because this has been talked about for what 2-3 years now, and Steve Jobs reckons that he had the way of doing it, and maybe this is Microsoft just desperate to steal a march.
Yeah, and the big advantage this would have would be like we can also play games on it.
Yeah,
which I suspect the Apple device wouldn't.
Unless they resurrect the Sony Pippin. No, the Apple Pippin, not the Sony Pippin. That'd be stupid if Apple brought back the Sony Pippin. Imagine.
What's the Pippin?
The Pippin was a game was a games console.
What was it?
Yeah.
Was it really? What was it like, Stu?
Shite.
Oh, that's a shame.
Brandon Lee. He says current rumours on second-hand games need to be clarified. I'm still really confused. To add fees to pre-owned disc users, in my eyes, is a huge business loss.
They really do need to clarify what on earth is going on with
Because I'm still confused, because even though we think we have an idea, there's no definitive... No.
Well, they've not... They've only said so much, and basically the message they've now settled on finally after confusing everybody is, we're not talking about it yet.
Yeah, great. They sent out an FAQ saying, watch this space.
Well, that FAQ also had the amazing line, it doesn't always require to be connected... Wait, it doesn't always require to be connected to the internet, but it does require an internet connection.
Great.
Which was...
Wow.
Yep. Awesome obfuscation.
Max lives in Somerset and says...
Good for Max.
Yeah, it's nice. I like Somerset. I was expecting all the COD Bro FIFA stuff would show up at E3, but I didn't think it would be all they had for the reveal. It's true, isn't it? Yeah, That is kind of all they had. He says, I also, like most people, already have a telly, and I don't see any reason in forking out for something else to watch the few shows I watch anyway. He says, pretty disappointing.
Yeah. Remember the first game they showed at Sony was Knack?
That was funny.
Brand new IP, like cute, playful platforms sort of adventure game.
I'll never play it though.
Action game.
I'll play it. And they followed up with
just
Killzone.
in terms of setting out your stall,
Yeah.
diametrically opposed there.
Yeah.
I really feel like Sony and Microsoft have diverged. I mean, it got to the point where with PS3 and 360 where it was like, which one do you want to buy? Fuck it, just whichever one you want. Most of them have the same games anyway. Whereas with this, it really does feel like it's almost like if you're a person who cares about video games, like really cares about them, then you kind of feel drawn to Sony because it feels like they care about them and Microsoft doesn't
Especially
anymore.
And also like with Vita integration and all that sort of stuff.
And it's not just about caring about you, the consumer, or whatever. It's about caring about video games as a thing and their growth
your
and
games
development.
console, good guy Sony, doesn't have to be online. It's fine. Don't worry about it. We're not going to worry about it.
You don't know that yet.
No, we do know that. They said that.
Really?
Yeah.
They never even considered it because a lot of people in the world don't have a reliable internet connection.
And they're very strong in
Good guy
Spain
Sony.
and other places with crap internet. So again, Sony sell really well.
This could be a
all those
turning point for
places.
Sony.
Could be. Exciting times. Any more feedback?
I have some. Sorry.
Okay, I've got a piece. Just on that related note, this guy, Chris Wilkes, has got a 3 megabyte internet connection that can't stream video on Xbox Live, let alone all of the features shown today. So that backs up the point you just made.
And one last meh from Damien Knight, who says, the day has been and gone for the majestic new Xbox reveal. Meh. It resembles a Dell Work PC.
Yes, exactly. In fact, I'm looking at an HP PC sat in the corner of this room, and it looks just like that. If you've sprayed that thing black, it would be almost identical.
Half of it with gloss paint, half of it with matte.
It also resembles an 80s VCR, he says. It's an ugly beast, and the unit is not living room friendly.
It really isn't. It really isn't. So, do you know what? I collectively, I think meh is absolutely right, isn't it? Are there any parts of this that anybody here has thought, interesting about?
I thought with Kinect, I have real problems with the privacy issues around Kinect in general, but in terms of the motion control actually working the way that they said original Kinect was going to work, and of being able to use that in games, awesome, really cool.
I think voice control for TV and stuff, like I said, my big thing is...
You just want to live in Star Trek.
Yeah, because if it works, it's not gimmicky, it works, and it could be really good. Like, imagine you're getting in and you're doing something, and you want to set it up, and you're unpacking your bag or cooking, and you turn on TV, right, go to Game of Thrones episode 1 or whatever, start playing, and you can start playing, you wouldn't have to... I don't know, I just think it could be cool if it works.
I agree, but this it still feels like it's in the difficult stage. It's not like if it was completely integrated, into a Samsung TV and not this huge bloody square thing that sits on top of... Oh, I don't even know where you're going to put it, actually.
Do you think it's going to be like... Do you remember how the original Kinect does that kind of... noise whenever it turns on. Is it going to do that?
Didn't they say it's like some kind of super wide-angle lens that kind of pulls everything in now?
Which
so
needs to be for this country, the size of our living rooms.
Static.
That's another thing. Like, this is all about the living room. What about bedroom gamers? What about people in dorm rooms at university? What about
also
teenagers?
It looks like it's designed to sit on, I don't know, either on top of the Xbox or on top, because it was like, it's flush, right? Flat with a kind of droppy down speaker bit. I don't know what that was. But that's not going to be, you're not going to be able to sort of rotate it.
No.
Oh
well, all will be revealed. I'm sure more will be revealed in the coming weeks.
So much rides on E3.
And E3, yeah, E3.
So much rides on it.
Yeah. There will be Halo 5.
That will be
E3.
games. I'm so looking forward to E3 this year. There's going to be games everywhere.
You know, imagine this. Imagine at E3 they did all that half an hour on TV there. How pissed off would you be then?
Yeah, totally, yeah. But I think that's why they got it out early.
Yeah.
And then E3 will be about the games.
Them video games.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think if you haven't already. IGN UK feedback at IGN.com.
If you're really, really in favour of the Xbox One and we're super impressed, we'd really like to hear from
that's
you.
a good point.
Because we're aware that we kind of all feel the same about it.
Yeah, and we all watched it together, so you get a little Siege mentality, I think.
Yeah.
I actually really like it, but I'm just embarrassed to say.
Liar.
I know.
Anything out to play on our current generation consoles?
To play?
Out to play.
Other games coming out this week.
There's one game out this week. It's Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D.
Is Resident Evil out?
Oh, Resident Evil Revelations is out, isn't it?
I think so. It was like
That came out,
second time out, and that's been out on Wii for a couple of years as well.
Yes,
So it's the time of the ports.
Animal Crossing soon, though, guys.
Very soon.
Very soon.
And if you go into the pictures this week, Hangover Part 3.
That's something you can not go see.
Yeah,
Is it not very good?
I would give it an okay review. I just think it's not a comedy anymore.
What is it?
It's changed genres quite considerably. It's like some big crime caper.
What?
Crime caper?
Yeah.
But they saw the success of Fast and Furious and thought, right, let's do a heist movie.
Yeah.
Is it caper? Maybe not. It's a lot of touring. They go to Las Vegas, Vietnam again, all in one movie. It's like...
So it's the best bits of the first two movies.
No,
But-
it's got
but done
decent
worse.
running time, Stu.
All right. Thanks for that. Should we leave it and go off and do our proper jobs?
Yeah.
Yep, that's it for this week's podcast.
Goodbye.
Yeah, next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Welcome to the ultimate social deduction game, Blood on the Clock Tower.
The evil team must stalk the streets at night, hunting down members of the good team one by one. Meanwhile, the good team must outmaneuver the evil team using their unique abilities.
I'd like to kick things off by telling you all that I'm possibly the demon.
Our players can mislead and manipulate others with absolute freedom.
I didn't like hearing my name in the same sentence as demon. That was very upsetting for me.
Emily and I will be your storytellers, guiding you through every labyrinthian twist and turn.
How are there so many evil players in this game? What's happening?
With guests from No Rolls Barred, the Pandemonium Institute, and Oxventure, you won't be able to stop listening. Go to realmspod.com/clocktower to find out more.
Hey folks, we're the hosts of Comic Sans, the podcast about comics for those who are sans knowledge. I'm Yen, a reader, writer, liver, and breather of comic books.
And I'm Nat. I used to know absolutely nothing about comics, but now...
So actually, I've got a quiz for you.
I still have a lot to learn about comics.
Thank you. On Comic Sans, I make Nat read some of my favorite works in the medium, including Saga, Daredevil, and The Flintstones.
And Yen talks about what makes that comic special. Sometimes it's a story, sometimes it's...
Paneling, gutters, page turns, colorings, lettering, semiotics, juxtaposition.
Okay, Professor, save it for the episodes.
You can listen to Comic Sans on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
You can binge our first 2 seasons. That's over 20 episodes on 20 different comics.
And we just launched Season 3, new episodes every 2 weeks.